Hi, beautiful souls. I need to share this message right away because my guides are being extremely persistent about getting this out to whoever needs to hear it. There's such powerful, divine, feminine energy coming through right now. And I'm being shown someone who's gone through this incredible transformation recently. You've been doing so much inner work. And while you might not even realize how much you've changed, others are definitely noticing. I'm getting such strong confirmation that someone from your past is watching your growth from afar. They're actually kind of shocked by how much you've evolved, especially spiritually. I can feel their energy so strongly. They're keeping tabs on you, maybe through social media or through mutual friends, but they're too scared to reach out directly. It's like they're stuck between really wanting to connect with you and letting their ego hold them back. You know, it's interesting because I'm sensing that lately you've been feeling this weird energy, like you're being watched or thought about. Maybe you've been seeing certain numbers repeatedly, especially when this person crosses your mind. The guides are showing me that you've recently made some big changes in your life. Could be your appearance, your lifestyle, or maybe you've achieved something significant that's got people talking. What's really important and what they're really emphasizing here is that this period of silence from this person was actually divinely orchestrated for your growth. I'm seeing the high priestess energy all around you right now, showing how much your intuition has developed. You're so much more in tune with your inner wisdom than you were before. The energy I'm picking up around this situation is really complex because while this person is definitely noting your success and spiritual growth, their own fear and ego are creating this huge internal battle. You might have been feeling pulled to check on them too, but something keeps holding you back. I'm getting such clear guidance about where this is heading, and there's actually a really important message coming through about divine timing and how it's playing out in your situation. The guides are showing me something really significant about the next phase of this connection. And what's really fascinating about this next phase is that I'm seeing the Queen of Pentacles showing up so powerfully for you right now. This is such beautiful confirmation of how you're taking all this spiritual wisdom you've gained and actually bringing it down into the physical world. You're creating something really tangible with your spiritual gifts. I'm sensing that maybe you've recently had an unexpected opportunity come up, something that lets you combine your practical skills with your spiritual gifts in a way you hadn't thought possible before. I'm actually getting chills because the energy around your manifestation abilities is so strong right now. Your guides are showing me that the person watching you is seeing this too. They're noticing how you're mastering both the spiritual and material worlds. You know, it's interesting. I'm hearing they didn't expect this. They're seeing you step into this Queen of Pentacles energy, being grounded, successful, abundant, and it's really throwing them off balance. I feel like some of you might have recently felt this urge to reorganize your space or upgrade your environment in some way. This is actually a physical manifestation of this inner transformation you're going through. And what's really beautiful is that people around you are starting to notice this shift in your energy. Has someone recently mentioned that you seem different, more confident maybe? The guides are showing me that this recognition is going to keep increasing, especially in your professional or social circles. But here's what's really important, and the guides are being really clear about this. All these challenges you've been facing, especially with this person's silence, they're actually doorways to even greater power. I know that might sound strange, but their distance is actually protecting this really crucial manifestation phase you're in right now. You're in this beautiful cocoon of transformation, and their silence, even though it might have hurt at first, is actually serving your highest good. I'm seeing very clearly that you've been noticing a lot of repeating numbers lately, especially 1111 or 555. These are such powerful confirmations that you're on the right path. And what's really interesting is that I'm sensing you've recently found yourself giving advice to others, almost without thinking about it. It's like this natural wisdom is just flowing through you now. The guides want you to know that it's so important to trust these unusual opportunities that are coming your way right now. Your intuition is getting stronger by the day, and these sudden creative inspirations you're getting, they're not random. They're divine guidance coming through. Even when things feel emotionally intense, you're probably noticing that you're able to stay more grounded than ever before. This is that Queen of Pentacles energy really anchoring you. You know, this person who's watching your growth, their soul is so drawn to this new energy you're embodying, but their ego is really struggling with it. They're dealing with some intense feelings of missed opportunity, but the universe is actually using their attention on you to trigger their own growth journey. They can't help but be transformed by witnessing your evolution. What's really powerful is how their growth journey is actually mirroring yours in an unexpected way. Right now, I'm feeling such strong energy coming through about this next phase of your transformation. The High Priestess energy we saw earlier is getting even stronger, but there's something new coming in. Let me check what the guides want to show us about this. The Knight of Swords just flew out of the deck, and wow, this is such an interesting shift in energy. While you've been in this beautiful, quiet growth phase with the High Priestess, this Knight of Swords is showing me that you're about to experience some really quick changes. I'm hearing breakthrough after breakthrough. You know how you've been processing all these spiritual insights lately? Well, it's like everything is about to click into place in your mind. I'm getting such a clear message that this person who's been watching you from afar, they're actually struggling with some really intense internal conflicts right now. Remember how the Hermit showed up earlier? It's like they're stuck between what their ego wants and what their soul knows is true. They're seeing your growth, your confidence, how you're handling things with such grace, and it's really making them question everything they thought they knew. You might have been feeling lately like you're being pulled to share your knowledge with others. Maybe you found yourself giving advice without even trying, or people have been coming to you with their problems more than usual. This is your spiritual gifts really starting to shine through. I'm actually seeing that some of you might have recently had a dream about teaching or guiding others. This is such a beautiful confirmation of where you're headed. The guides are showing me that you've probably been experiencing more synchronicities lately, maybe seeing repeated numbers like 555 or 1111, or having random songs pop into your head that turn out to have important messages. These aren't coincidental. They're signs that you're really tuned into your spiritual guidance now. And what's fascinating is that this person who's watching you, they're picking up on this energy too, even from a distance. I'm getting such strong guidance about these sudden urges you might be having to reorganize your life or make unexpected changes. Trust these impulses. They're actually divine guidance helping you prepare for what's coming. The Knight of Swords is showing me that these changes might feel fast or even a bit overwhelming, but they're all part of your path. Your guides are actually using this period of separation to help you develop these incredible leadership qualities that you're going to need very soon. You know, it's really interesting. While they're watching your success and spiritual growth from afar, they're actually learning some really crucial life lessons. Their silence isn't about your worth at all. I need to make that really clear. The guides are showing me that their silence is actually about their own inner battle between ego and truth. They're seeing you step into your power, and it's triggering something deep within them. And what's really fascinating is that as they're watching this transformation in you, it's creating this powerful ripple effect in their own spiritual journey. Let me pull another card to see exactly how this energy is playing out. The Two of Pentacles has just come forward, and immediately I'm hearing mastery in motion. This is such beautiful confirmation of what I've been sensing about your journey. You've probably been noticing lately that you're handling multiple aspects of your life with this amazing new grace. Maybe you've had moments where you surprised yourself, like handling a work challenge that would have stressed you out before, but now you're approaching it with this unexpected confidence. The guides are showing me that this isn't just coincidence. This is actually a direct result of your spiritual evolution. I'm getting such a strong message about your productivity lately. Have you been having these sudden bursts of energy where you just get so much done? It's like 1 minute you're just going about your day, and the next you're in this amazing flow state where everything just clicks. This is actually your spiritual growth starting to manifest in your physical world. The Two of Pentacles is showing me that you're learning to balance both your spiritual growth and your material success in this really beautiful way. And here's what's really interesting about the person watching you. They're seeing this transformation, and it's making them deeply uncomfortable, but not in the way you might think. I'm actually getting that their higher self recognizes your evolution as a mirror of what they need to do themselves. You're literally showing them what's possible through your own growth. I keep seeing these random moments where memories of this person pop into your head. The guides want you to know that these aren't just random thoughts. They're actually moments of energetic connection. But here's the important part. This current period of separation is actually divine protection. You're being given this space to really master these new aspects of yourself without any external interference. You might have noticed you're getting more compliments from strangers lately, or people are coming to you for advice more often. This is your energy literally becoming more magnetic as you step into this mastery. The Two of Pentacles is showing me that you're handling this increased attention with such natural grace. It's like you're learning to dance with these new energies. The number 555 keeps flashing in my mind. If you've been seeing this number, it's a huge confirmation that these changes are divinely guided. Your guides are showing me that all of this growth, all of this balancing act you're doing, it's actually preparing you for a leadership role that's coming. But it's not just about leading others. It's about showing others what true spiritual integration looks like in the modern world. I'm seeing that this period of growth is actually setting the foundation for something much bigger. While you're mastering this balance between your spiritual gifts and practical life, you're actually creating a template that others will follow. The guides are showing me that your current journey isn't just about personal transformation. It's about pioneering a path for others who will come after you. And what's really powerful about this template you're creating is that I'm seeing it's actually drawing in this really interesting masculine energy. Let me pull another card to understand this deeper. The King of Wands has just come through, and wow, the energy shift in these cards is so powerful. This is showing me that you're not just growing spiritually, you're actually stepping into this natural leadership role that feels both gentle and incredibly powerful at the same time. You know how sometimes you can feel someone's authority without them having to say a word? That's the energy you're embodying right now. I'm seeing people at work or in your social circles starting to lean in when you speak, even if you're saying the exact same things you've always said. It's like your words carry this new weight, this new wisdom that people can't help but notice. And here's what's really interesting about the person watching you from afar. They're literally shocked by this transformation. The King of Wands combined with the High Priestess energy we saw earlier is showing me that they're seeing you step into this power that they never knew you had. It's like they're watching someone they thought they knew completely transform into this powerhouse of quiet confidence and wisdom. I keep hearing this message. They don't even recognize you anymore, but not in a negative way. It's more like they're in awe. You know those moments when you're in a meeting or talking with friends and you just naturally know exactly what to say? That's this King of Wands energy working with your heightened intuition. You're not just speaking from knowledge anymore. You're speaking from this deep well of wisdom that's been activated within you. The Queen of Pentacles energy we saw earlier is still playing such a huge role here. It's showing me that you're taking all this spiritual wisdom and grounding it in such a practical way. Like, you're not just talking about manifestation, you're actually showing people how to do it. You're not just preaching about boundaries, you're living them in a way that's inspiring others to do the same. And here's what's really fascinating. I'm seeing that this person who's watching you is actually struggling with their ego big time. The Knight of Swords energy shows me they want to rush in and connect with you, but their ego keeps holding them back. They're literally watching you become the kind of leader they always wanted to be themselves, and it's bringing up all sorts of emotions for them. I'm getting such a clear message that you've recently had people coming to you for advice about things you never considered yourself an expert in. Maybe it's about relationships, career moves, or even spiritual guidance. This isn't a coincidence. It's actually the universe's way of confirming that you're stepping into this new role of spiritual leadership. And what makes this so special is that you're doing it in your own unique way. You're not trying to copy anyone else's path or style. The guides are showing me that some of you might be feeling a bit uncertain about this new leadership energy. Like maybe you're thinking, who am I to guide others? But that's exactly why you're perfect for this role, because you're approaching it with such humility and authenticity. Your guides want you to know that this natural authority you're developing isn't about ego. It's about service. You're becoming the kind of leader you needed when you were starting your own journey. And you know what's really fascinating about this leadership energy you're stepping into? The Tower just came through and it's confirming everything we've been talking about. This person who's been watching you from afar, they're going through their own massive awakening just by witnessing your growth. The Tower is showing me that all their old beliefs about who you are, about your relationship, about themselves, it's all crumbling down. I'm getting such a strong message that they've been trying to maintain this image of you in their mind, this old version that they thought they understood. But every time they check on you, whether it's through social media or through mutual friends, that image just keeps shattering. It's like they can't hold on to their old story about you anymore because your truth is just too powerful. You know how sometimes you get those random urges to check your phone like you're expecting a message, but there's nothing there? Or maybe you've been having these really vivid dreams about this person lately. The guides are showing me that these aren't just random occurrences. They're actually moments when this person is thinking about reaching out to you so intensely that you're picking up on their energy. The Tower combined with that high priestess energy we saw earlier, this is such a powerful combination. It's showing me that your spiritual evolution isn't just affecting you anymore. It's creating this ripple effect that's forcing truth to surface everywhere around you. I keep hearing this message. They can't hide from the truth anymore. I'm seeing that some of you have recently started wearing different colors, maybe being drawn to purples or blues without really knowing why. Or you might be finding yourself in these leadership positions without even trying, like people at work or in your spiritual community just naturally starting to look to you for guidance. These aren't coincidences. They're signs of your divine feminine energy expanding. The King of Wands energy is still so present here, but now with the Tower, it's showing me that your authority is actually causing this person's carefully constructed walls to crumble. You know those moments when you're just being yourself, maybe sharing your wisdom or speaking your truth, and you can feel the whole room shift. That's this energy in action. I keep seeing the number sequence 5555 or 1111 coming through. If you've been seeing these numbers, especially when you're thinking about this person or your spiritual journey, that's your guides confirming that you're exactly where you need to be. These numbers are actually showing up as markers of this massive transformation that's unfolding. The Six of Swords that was showing up earlier is making so much more sense now. It's like you've been on this journey across choppy waters, moving away from turbulence, and now you've reached this place of such deep knowing and mastery. And the person watching you, they're witnessing this journey from the shore, realizing that every step you've taken has been divinely guided. Their ego is putting up such a fight right now. I'm seeing them actually physically stopping themselves from reaching out to you multiple times. They might have even typed out messages and deleted them or picked up their phone to call and then put it back down. But here's what's really interesting. Every time they resist reaching out, the Tower energy gets stronger. It's like their resistance is actually making their eventual breakthrough even more powerful. And what's really powerful is that right as we're seeing their ego resistance reaching this peak, the Star card comes forward with this incredible healing energy. This isn't just any kind of healing. It's like divine inspiration is literally washing over this whole situation. You know those moments when you're just going about your day and suddenly you get this crystal clear knowing about why everything happened the way it did? That's exactly what the star is bringing in right now. I keep getting this image of you standing in your power, maybe doing something totally ordinary, like making your morning coffee or working on a project, and them just being completely captivated by your energy from afar. The star is showing me that they're literally getting spiritual downloads about you without even realizing it. Like they'll be going about their day and suddenly they'll remember something you said months or even years ago, and it finally clicks for them in this whole new way. It's really interesting because the star coming right after the tower we just saw, this is showing me that their whole world isn't just falling apart, it's being rebuilt in this completely new way. But here's what's fascinating. Every time they try to resist these new understandings about you, about themselves, about this whole connection, it's like the universe just brings them more signs. I'm seeing them literally running into people who remind them of you, or hearing songs that make them think of you, or coming across things on their social media that perfectly mirror what you've been saying all along. Your divine feminine energy is just so strong right now. I keep seeing this image of a lotus flower blooming, and it's like every time they check on you or think about you, they're seeing another petal open. They're watching you step into this incredible wisdom, this natural leadership, and it's triggering something deep within them. The star is showing me that they're actually healing through watching your healing, even though they're trying so hard to pretend they're not affected. I'm getting such a strong message about divine timing here. Some of you might be feeling this pull to reach out to them or to somehow let them know that you know they're watching. But the star is actually showing me that this period of observation is so crucial for their growth. It's like they need to witness your light from a distance right now, because if they got too close too soon, their ego would try to dim it. You know those moments when you're sharing your wisdom with someone else, maybe giving advice to a friend or even just posting something meaningful online, and it feels like the words are just flowing through you. That's your divine feminine wisdom really coming through. And what's wild is that these messages you're sharing, they're often exactly what this person needs to hear in that moment, even though you have no idea they're seeing it. The star's energy is so hopeful, but it's not a false hope. It's showing me that all these intuitive hits you've been getting, all these feelings about them watching your journey, they're all being confirmed right now. Your inner knowing has been right this whole time. I'm seeing some of you literally writing down insights or having these powerful dreams that are giving you glimpses of the bigger picture. And what's really fascinating is that right as we're sitting with this star energy, the Eight of Cups comes forward and it's showing me exactly what's happening in their energy right now. They are literally in this space of walking away from their old emotional patterns, but not in the way you might think. See, while physically they might have walked away from you before, now they're actually walking away from their old ways of thinking, their old patterns that kept them stuck in ego. I keep seeing this image of them scrolling through their phone late at night, looking at your social media, or maybe just thinking about you, and suddenly having these deep realizations about themselves. The Eight of Cups paired with that High Priestess energy we saw earlier. It's like every time they check on you, they can't help but notice how in tune with your intuition you've become. They're seeing you post about your spiritual journey, or maybe just living your life with this new sense of confidence, and it's making them question everything they thought they knew. You know those moments when you're just doing your thing. Maybe you're at work or creating something and you get this weird feeling like someone's thinking about you. That's exactly what's happening. The Eight of Cups is showing me that they're having these really intense emotional moments where they're realizing how much they've missed out on by staying stuck in their ego. I keep hearing this message. They never expected you to become this version of yourself. And the Queen of Pentacles is really highlighting this. You're not just growing spiritually, you're creating real, tangible success in your life. Maybe you got a promotion, started a new project, or just started taking better care of yourself. Whatever it is, they're watching you absolutely glow up, and it's shaking them to their core. That tower moment we saw earlier, it's because they're realizing they can't pretend anymore that you're the same person they left behind. I'm getting such a strong message about numbers. If you've been seeing 8888 or 555 everywhere, that's a huge confirmation. These numbers are showing up to tell you that this massive change, this transformation in how they see you, it's all divinely timed. Some of you might even be finding yourself randomly giving advice to other people, sharing wisdom that you didn't even know you had. That's your divine feminine energy really stepping into its power. The way these cards are connecting, it's showing me that their ego defenses are literally crumbling every time they see you succeed. You know those moments when you achieve something and you get this weird feeling like you should check your old messages or emails? That's because energetically, they're so focused on you in those moments of your success. They're struggling with this intense regret, realizing that while they've been watching from the shadows, you've been becoming this incredible force of nature. But here's what's really interesting. The Eight of Cups is showing me that this isn't just about them watching you. Every step you take in your growth is actually helping them heal too. It's like you're unconsciously teaching them how to connect with their own spiritual side. Even though you're not directly communicating, your growth is literally becoming a blueprint for their awakening. And what's really powerful is that right as we're connecting with this energy of them watching your transformation, I'm being shown this Two of Swords energy that's really highlighting their internal struggle right now. They're literally stuck between their ego and their heart. It's like they're wearing this blindfold, trying so hard not to see how much you've grown, but they just can't help themselves. You know that feeling when you just know someone's thinking about you. Maybe you're going about your day and suddenly you get these chills or this warm sensation wash over you. That's exactly what's happening here. Their energy is so focused on you, but they're completely frozen in this mental battle with themselves. On one side, their ego is saying, don't reach out, don't show weakness, but their heart is literally aching to acknowledge how much you've evolved. And it's so interesting because this Two of Swords is connecting directly with that High Priestess energy we saw earlier. Your intuitive growth, the way you've been handling situations with such wisdom lately, it's literally forcing them to face some really uncomfortable truths about themselves. I keep hearing this message. They never thought you would become the teacher. Some of you might have recently started sharing your wisdom with others, maybe giving advice to friends, or even starting to teach in some way. That's a huge confirmation that you're exactly where you need to be. The tower moment that they created when they ghosted you, it's completely backfired on them. Instead of you being stuck in that hurt, you've used it as a catalyst for growth. You've taken that Queen of Pentacles energy and really run with it, building your empire, taking care of yourself, maybe even starting new projects or ventures. And every time they see this, every time they check on your progress, it's like another piece of their ego armor cracks. I'm being shown this really clear image of them sitting there, maybe late at night, just scrolling through their phone or thinking about you and having these intense realizations hit them. They're seeing how you've mastered exactly what they're still struggling with. Ini, opwad, and so mas purtai and not several dan, it's, emotional stability, to pro success in your career, or you're just this deep sense of inner knowing that radiates from you now. For some of you, I'm hearing you've been having these random bursts of productivity lately, or maybe you've been receiving unexpected compliments at work. These aren't just coincidences. They're direct reflections of how your energy has shifted. And every time you succeed, every time you step more into your power, it's creating this ripple effect that's forcing them to confront their own growth that they've been avoiding. Their ego is literally being dismantled by watching your growth. You've become this mirror for them, showing them everything they could be if they just put down their pride and embraced their own transformation. Some of you might be feeling this really strange mix of peace and anticipation lately, like you know something big is coming, but you're completely at ease with whatever it might be. That's your high priestess energy protecting you, keeping you grounded while they go through this internal battle. They're literally stuck in this Two of Swords moment, paralyzed between reaching out and staying hidden. But what's fascinating is that the more they try to maintain this distance, the more their own spiritual awakening is being triggered by your growth. It's like they can't look away from the light you've become, even though it's forcing them to face all their own shadows. And now, looking at the Page of Cups that just appeared, it's showing me exactly how this internal battle is playing out in their emotions. I keep seeing this image of them almost like a teenager with their first crush. They have all these pure, innocent feelings bubbling up, but they're trying so hard to act cool and unbothered. It's actually kind of sweet how they can't help but feel these childlike emotions when they think of you. You know that feeling when something reminds you of someone and suddenly your heart feels all fluttery? That's exactly what they're experiencing, but like all the time now. The Page of Cups is bringing this really pure, almost naive energy. It's like they're learning how to feel again for the first time. And with your high priestess energy we saw earlier, it's creating this amazing contrast. While you're in this deep, wise, spiritual space, they're just beginning to wake up to these basic emotional truths. I'm getting such a strong message right now about some of you stepping into teaching roles lately. Maybe you've been sharing your story on social media, or friends have been coming to you for advice more than usual. I keep hearing accidental mentor, like you didn't set out to be the spiritual guide, but people are just naturally drawn to your wisdom now. And guess who's watching all of this? Yep, they see every post, every achievement, every moment of growth. The combination of your King of Wands energy, all that confidence and leadership with their Page of Cups emotions is creating this fascinating dynamic. It's like they're your student without even realizing it. Every time they check on you, whether it's through mutual friends or social media, they're actually learning from your example. I'm seeing numbers like 11 and 11 and 55 showing up for them constantly when they think of you, major wake-up calls from the universe. Their ego is literally in panic mode right now. Remember that strong, silent act they were trying to maintain? Well, it's crumbling fast. The Page of Cups brings this energy of unexpected emotional messages, and I keep seeing them drafting texts to you and deleting them, or hovering over your profile, about to reach out, then backing away. It's like watching someone learn to swim. They keep dipping their toe in the water, but aren't quite ready to dive in. I'm also picking up on some of you feeling this weird sense of deja vu lately, or having dreams about teaching or guiding others. That's your intuition confirming you're on the right path. Your spiritual evolution isn't just about you anymore. You're literally becoming this lighthouse for others, including them. You might have noticed more people coming to you for help lately, or feeling randomly compelled to share your wisdom. That's the universe using you as a channel for higher knowledge. What's really interesting is how the Page of Cups is showing me their emotional awakening process. They're having these huge realizations about your connection, but they're processing them with this really young, almost innocent energy. It's like they're feeling things they've never felt before, understanding truths about love and connection that you've already mastered. And while part of them wants to rush to tell you everything they're learning, that Two of Swords energy we saw earlier is still keeping them frozen in place, and while that Two of Swords has been keeping them stuck, I'm now seeing the Devil card coming through so strongly, and wow, the energy shift here is intense. It's showing me exactly why they're still holding back. You know that feeling when you know something's good for you, but there's this weird comfort in staying stuck. That's exactly where they're at right now. Their ego has built this golden cage, and even though the door is wide open, they're scared to fly out. I keep hearing old patterns die hard, and I'm seeing someone specifically struggling with social media, like they're almost obsessively checking your posts, but trying to convince themselves they're not. The Devil card is really highlighting how their material mindset is clashing with all these spiritual awakenings they're having. Like they'll see you posting about meditation or spiritual growth, and part of them wants to reach out and ask you about it, but then their ego jumps in with all these, but what will people think? Thoughts. This Devil energy combined with your High Priestess energy that we saw earlier, it's creating this really interesting dynamic. While you're ascending, stepping more into your power, they're being forced to face all their shadows. And let me tell you, your growth is literally triggering their spiritual awakening, whether they like it or not. Some of you might have been feeling random bursts of anxiety lately, especially when you're about to share something about your spiritual journey online. That's actually you picking up on their energy. They're going through it. I'm getting such a clear message about money and success too. For some of you, you've been experiencing unexpected financial opportunities, maybe through sharing your spiritual gifts or just following your intuition, and they see this. The Devil card is showing me how this triggers their own scarcity mindset. They're stuck in this old way of thinking about success, but watching you thrive by following your spiritual path is making them question everything they thought they knew. You know what's really interesting? The Eight of Cups energy we saw earlier is still playing out, but now the devil is showing us the flip side. While you've been walking away from what no longer serves you, they're still trying to convince themselves that the old way is safer. But here's the thing. I keep seeing this image of a rubber band being stretched. The more they try to stay in their ego, the stronger the spiritual pull becomes. It's like the universe is saying, you can resist all you want, but this transformation is happening. I'm also getting this really strong past life connection coming through. Some of you might have been feeling drawn to certain time periods or cultures lately, or having these really vivid dreams about teaching or leading others. That's because this connection goes way deeper than just this lifetime. Their higher self recognizes your soul from before, and that recognition is what's making their ego freak out so much. The devil card is showing me they're literally fighting against their own soul's knowing right now. The way these cards are interacting with the devil challenging your high priestess energy, it's clear that their inner conflict is reaching a breaking point. They've been trying to maintain this image, this facade of being unbothered, but their soul is literally screaming for transformation. And every time you step more into your power, every time you share your light, it's like you're holding up a mirror to all the parts of themselves they've been trying to ignore. And speaking of the parts of themselves they've been trying to ignore, wow, the World card just literally jumped out of the deck. This is huge confirmation of everything we've been talking about. I'm getting chills because this is showing me that you're completing such a massive cycle in your spiritual growth. You know those moments when you just feel different, like you've leveled up somehow. That's exactly what's happening. I keep seeing this image of you standing in your power, and it's like you're glowing brighter and brighter. Remember that Queen of Pentacles energy we saw earlier? It's dancing with the World card now, showing me that you're not just growing spiritually. You're making things happen in the real world too. Some of you might have recently gotten a promotion, or maybe your business is suddenly taking off. I'm hearing unexpected abundance really strongly. They see all of this, by the way, with that high priestess energy we talked about before, still so active. It's like you've become this beacon of light that they literally can't ignore. I'm getting that some of you might be feeling random tingles on the back of your neck, or suddenly thinking of them during really powerful moments in your life. That's because they're energetically tuning in. They're watching your social media, asking mutual friends about you, trying to piece together how you've transformed so much. That tower moment we saw earlier, it's still echoing through their world. Every time they see you succeed, every time they notice how much you've grown, it's like another brick falls from their tower of ego. I'm hearing they never expected this. They thought, when they pulled away, you might dim your light, but instead, you're literally shining brighter than ever. You know what's really interesting? I'm seeing this pattern of numbers, 1 and 11, 222, 333, showing up for a lot of you. These aren't just random, they're divine confirmations that you're exactly where you need to be. And for some of you, I'm seeing these numbers showing up right when you're thinking about this person, or right before you post something about your spiritual journey. The World card is also showing me this beautiful full circle moment that's approaching. Some of you might be having these super vivid dreams lately, or getting these random flashbacks to moments you shared with this person. That's because there's this massive karmic completion happening. Your guides are showing me that by focusing on your own growth, by really stepping into your power, you're actually helping break down their resistance. I'm getting such strong validation about this too. Some of you have been randomly running into people who remind you of them or hearing their name in random conversations. These aren't coincidences. The universe is confirming that all of this is divinely orchestrated. Your growth isn't just about you. It's creating this ripple effect that's forcing them to face their own spiritual awakening. And here's the thing, while they're watching you from afar, thinking they're just an observer, they're actually being transformed by your light. Every time you share your wisdom, every time you step more into your authentic power, it's like you're holding up this cosmic mirror that's making it impossible for them to stay stuck in their old patterns. And speaking of them not being able to stay stuck in their old patterns, I just got this overwhelming rush of energy as the 10 of Pentacles literally flew out of the deck. This is such powerful confirmation of everything we've been discussing. You see, this card is showing me that all this spiritual work you've been doing isn't just changing you on the inside. It's creating real, tangible results in your physical world. I'm sensing that many of you have started noticing people randomly coming to you for advice lately. Maybe friends, coworkers, or even strangers are drawn to your energy and wisdom in a way that feels different than before. Some of you might have even had unexpected opportunities pop up in your career or with money, like the universe is finally rewarding all the inner work you've been doing. Remember that high priestess energy we saw earlier? Well, now with this 10 of Pentacles, it's showing me that your intuitive gifts are actually helping you build something lasting. I'm hearing foundation for generations, like the wisdom you're gaining through this journey isn't just for you. You're becoming this beacon of light that's going to help so many others. And yes, that includes the person watching you from afar. I need to tell you something important that your guides are showing me right now. When I look at how the 10 of Pentacles is positioned next to the World card we saw earlier, I'm seeing this amazing picture of completion and abundance coming together. But here's the thing. The person watching you, they're seeing it too, and it's really shaking them up. I'm hearing they never expected you to thrive without them. You might be feeling called to share more of your journey lately, maybe through social media or just in conversations with others. Trust that urge. The Queen of Pentacles energy we discussed is showing me that you're learning to balance your spiritual gifts with practical wisdom. And that's exactly what people need to see right now. I'm getting such strong validation about your material success too. Some of you might have recently started a new project or business venture, or maybe you're thinking about it. The cards are showing me that anything you start right now has this special divine protection around it. Your guides are saying your abundance is part of the plan. It's not just about money. It's about creating a legacy of wisdom and healing. The person watching you, they're seeing all of this unfold, and it's forcing them to face some really deep truths about themselves. Every time you post about your success, every time you share a bit of your wisdom, it's like a mirror being held up to their ego. I'm seeing them literally stopping mid-scroll on their phone, feeling this mix of pride and regret when they see how far you've come. But here's what's really beautiful. Your guides are showing me that this whole dynamic is part of a bigger divine plan. Your growth isn't just transforming you, it's creating this ripple effect that's helping heal collective karmic patterns. Even their act of watching you from afar is part of their soul's journey toward awakening. And now, beautiful souls, as we come to this pivotal moment in your reading, I'm literally getting chills as the judgment card appears before me. This is such powerful confirmation of everything we've been discussing. Your guides are showing me this incredible image of you standing in your full power, absolutely radiating with this divine feminine light that's impossible to ignore. The person watching you from afar, they're being called to face some serious truths about themselves through witnessing your transformation. I need to share something really important that your guides are emphasizing right now. This whole journey, their silence, your growth, even their secret observation of your success, it was never actually about them coming back. I know that might be hard to hear for some of you, but trust me when I say this is actually beautiful news. You see, this was always about your ascension into your true power. Their role as an observer was divinely orchestrated to help you step fully into your light without external validation. I'm seeing so clearly now how all these cards we've pulled today tell this amazing story of your evolution. From the high priestess showing your awakening intuition to the world marking your completion of this major life cycle. And now judgment appearing to confirm that you're ready for this next level. Your guides are saying the student has become the teacher. You might have already started noticing signs of this. Maybe people have been randomly coming to you for advice lately, or you've been feeling this strong urge to share your story and wisdom with others. Some of you might have even started having these really vivid dreams about teaching or guiding people. These aren't coincidences. They're confirmations that you're stepping into your role as a way shower. The most beautiful part, your growth isn't just changing your life. It's creating this ripple effect that's helping heal collective karma. Even the person watching you is being transformed by your example, whether they're ready to admit it or not. Your guides want you to know that unexpected blessings are heading your way as recognition of all this inner work you've done. I'm feeling so strongly that many of you watching this are at a crucial point in your spiritual journey. Your energy is so powerful, so unique. I can literally feel it through the screen. If you're resonating with this message, if you're feeling called to go deeper into understanding your divine path and purpose, I really encourage you to join our soul family by subscribing. And for those of you who feel like you need more personal guidance during this powerful transformation, I do offer private readings through my Patreon where we can explore your unique journey in more depth. Remember, beautiful soul, you were always meant to shine this brightly. Your guides are so proud of how far you've come, and I'm truly honored to be part of your journey.